Something ancient is stirring, moving silently through the very fabric of existence. It's so subtle that many won't notice the first signs. Yet, it holds such immense power that no one will remain untouched by its presence. This isn't a loud or flashy emergence. It hums just beneath the surface of daily life, quietly threading its way through conversations, thoughts, and even the unspoken glances shared between strangers. The Pleiadians have ended a long silence to deliver a message. And this time, it's not meant to dazzle or inspire with hopeful visions. This message doesn't offer comfort. It carries the weight of a world standing at the brink of something irreversible. What they speak of isn't fire or water. It's not destruction in any familiar form. They speak of a wave, not physical, but divine. A force of truth that's rising from within the very structure of reality. It doesn't belong to the future. It's already unfolding. With every breath you take, with each moment that passes in your ordinary life, this wave tightens its grip on the unseen framework of the world. It's preparing to pull back the veil on what's been hidden for lifetimes. At first glance, everything may seem unchanged. The same news cycles, the same routines, the same distractions that have always lulled people into spiritual sleep. But when you look closer, when you listen more deeply, something becomes unmistakably clear. The ground beneath all that is familiar is beginning to shift. The change is almost imperceptible at first, but it's as real and certain as the sun rising. The Pleiadians speak with urgency now. This wave will not wait for anyone to be ready. It does not ask for permission. It doesn't care if you're still trying to hold on to illusions built over lifetimes. It comes from a higher law, one that answers only to truth. And truth doesn't dress itself up to be palatable. It can burn as much as it can illuminate. For those who have spent years hiding from their own truths, those hiding places are beginning to collapse. And for those who've constructed identities from shadows and pretense, those fragile structures are starting to crumble. Nothing will remain untouched. The systems of power built on deception will falter. The comfortable lies that have blended into the background of daily life will start to lose their grip. Even the inner walls we've constructed within our own minds, those defenses that helped us avoid the deepest, most painful parts of ourselves, will begin to break apart. This isn't a punishment. This is a liberation, though it may not feel that way at first. Freedom doesn't always arrive in calm, peaceful waves. Often, it comes through chaos, through unraveling, through a direct confrontation with everything we thought was true. The final words from the Pleiadians ring with undeniable urgency. Time has been slipping away faster than we understood. The clock has been ticking in the background for far longer than anyone realized, and now the sands are nearly gone. This divine wave is not a threat. It's a mirror raised to the whole of humanity, reflecting every truth and every mask. And this mirror will not be lowered again until everything false has fallen away. What matters most is what you choose to do when this force fully meets you. Because what you do will shape far more than your future. It will shape the very direction of your soul's journey. This isn't just another energetic shift. It's not like the waves humanity has experienced in the past. This is a complete cosmic purge with a singular purpose: to tear through every falsehood that has entangled the human experience. It isn't here to gently nudge or softly suggest. This force digs deep, reaching the very roots of deception. It touches everything: beliefs, systems, illusions, and even the soul itself. There's no avoiding it, no slowing it down, and certainly no bargaining with it. Once it begins to move, nothing can stop it. In the past, waves of change would arrive softly, giving time for people to adjust. But that time has passed. There are no more delays, no more cosmic grace periods. This isn't something on the horizon. It has already begun. The first waves are moving quietly through Earth's invisible energy grids, subtly but surely weaving themselves into the structure of reality. Though most haven't seen it with their eyes, many can already feel it. It presses quietly into people's lives, like the distant tremor before an earthquake breaks the surface. What makes this wave so different is how deeply it reaches. It doesn't just shake governments, systems, or long-held traditions. It reaches into unseen layers, thought patterns, emotional wounds, soul agreements. It is a shaking of both the visible and the invisible worlds. Nothing is exempt. Even places thought to be spiritually clean are feeling the pressure. Leaders once cloaked in appearances of spiritual authority are finding their masks slipping. Those who built their lives, their careers, even their identities on illusions are discovering there's nowhere left to hide. And yet, despite its intensity, the wave begins in quiet. Life on the surface may appear unchanged. The sky looks the same, the news sounds familiar, and people continue in their routines. But something underneath is shifting. A subtle unrest is building. Many are experiencing heightened emotions, strange and prophetic dreams, or a growing feeling that something invisible is drawing closer. Even before the physical world shows signs of collapse, the inner world, thoughts, emotions, intuition, will feel it first. The soul begins to tremble before the body ever does. Even if you're going through your day, appearing unchanged to the world, the sensitive among us are already feeling the dissonance. They notice a charge in the air, a strange hum beneath conversations, a sense that ordinary places suddenly feel foreign. But this wave isn't just for the awakened. It will move through everyone and everything. It doesn't care whether you're spiritually aware or not. It doesn't pick favorites. The only difference is, those who are awake will recognize what's happening, while others may be caught completely off guard. This isn't something you can hide from. There's no wall thick enough, no bunker deep enough, no lie convincing enough to shield against it. This divine wave has begun its work, and it won't stop until every illusion has been peeled away, leaving only the raw and undeniable truth. For eons, Earth has existed under a cosmic silence. Beings from distant star systems have watched without interfering, following ancient galactic laws that forbid involvement with younger worlds, still learning through free will. Even in times of great darkness, even as humanity descended into conflict and spiritual forgetfulness, those watching from beyond remained silent, honoring the rule of non-interference. Earth was meant to learn on its own, even if that meant taking the long road through suffering and confusion. But something changed. Earth crossed a vibrational threshold so unstable, so dangerous, that silence was no longer an option. The laws that once protected Earth from outside influence have been temporarily lifted. The danger of doing nothing has become greater than the risks of stepping in. Among the many civilizations that could have spoken, it is the Pleiadians who were chosen to deliver this message. Their energy is the closest to humanity's original blueprint. Long ago, when Earth was first seeded with life, it was the Pleiadians who helped imprint codes of truth, love, and divine creativity into the human soul. Their bond with us is ancient and deeply personal. They remember the original song we once sang, a harmonic resonance with the stars that has long been forgotten. Because they still carry that frequency, they are the natural messengers for this moment of great transition. And they come not with judgment, but with the voice of a loving sibling calling out to family. The situation they speak of is far more severe than most people realize. From beyond time, they have seen distortions in Earth's timelines, patterns so twisted and unstable that natural correction is no longer enough. Normally, universal energies would restore balance on their own, but Earth's trajectory became too chaotic, too misaligned. The risks now ripple far beyond this one planet. That's why this message is being delivered now, why the silence has been broken. Not to scold, but to awaken. Not to frighten, but to shake humanity into remembrance before it's too late. What's coming isn't something outside of us. It's already inside, already here, already moving. And what you choose to do now, how you respond, will shape not only the life you know, but the soul journey you came here to fulfill. Imagine a river that once flowed freely, weaving around rocks and finding its own natural path. But something has changed. Earth's distortions have grown so severe They're no longer just obstacles in the current. They've become more like a dam, blocking the river entirely. The waters can't move forward. They back up, stagnate, and threaten to overflow, bringing destruction instead of life. If nothing is done, this twisted state of timelines could fracture souls so profoundly that many wouldn't be able to find their way back for thousands of lifetimes. Humanity stands on the edge of something irreversible. The fabric of consciousness is stretching dangerously thin, coming close to a point where it may not be able to recover. This is the warning the Pleiadians are delivering, not as a suggestion to ponder or advice to revisit later, but as an urgent, final call. Their message rings out like a bell that can no longer be ignored. It's not about fear, it's about truth. The truth that if this moment is dismissed, if the signals go unheeded, the damage that follows won't just affect our civilizations or cultures. It will reach into the very essence of each soul, breaking apart connections that took lifetimes to build. And once they shatter, putting the pieces back together won't be easy. Every choice now, every step taken, carries a gravity that most people have never been asked to hold before. It matters more than we know. Their arrival in this moment isn't random. It was foreseen long ago, written into the deepest plans of creation, billions of years back when the blueprint of life was still being imagined. It was understood that free will would be both a great gift and a potential risk. It could create beauty or chaos. And so, within the grand design, there was a quiet agreement made, a contingency plan. If Earth ever lost its way so deeply that its light dimmed past the point of self-repair, the Pleiadians would intervene, not to control, but to remind us of who we are. That moment has come. The plan that was once just a distant possibility is now unfolding in real time. For those who can hear this call, this might be the last opportunity to choose differently, to align with a path that brings healing instead of collapse. What's happening now? The massive wave of change moving through Earth isn't some random act of nature or a burst of unexplained magic. It's a carefully orchestrated cosmic operation. It's as if the universe itself is being rewritten from the inside, restructured by an intelligence far beyond human understanding. Forces older than our species, more ancient than memory, are reaching in to redesign how reality feels, behaves, and holds itself together. And at the heart of this shift is a powerful merging, a fusion between celestial energies and the Earth's own systems. Nothing about this is accidental. The shifts we're feeling are being deliberately initiated, as though unseen hands are at work beneath the surface, guiding and reconstructing the very foundation of life. One of the primary delivery systems for this transformation is the Sun. Its solar flares, coronal mass ejections, and electromagnetic bursts may look chaotic, but they're not storms in the way we usually think. They're vehicles, cosmic carriers bringing in sacred codes, divine instructions for Earth's next evolutionary phase. Each solar wave is a transmission, like a software update, encoded with frequencies that penetrate our atmosphere, touch the ground we walk on, and even saturate the air we breathe and the water we drink. These aren't just symbols or ideas. They're living energies, frequencies that have the power to awaken what's been asleep, to recalibrate the planet and everyone living on it. Deep beneath Earth's crust, another layer of this transformation is happening. The crystalline grid, an invisible web of light and energy that connects and sustains the planet, is undergoing a major recalibration. This grid works like Earth's nervous system, and it's been holding not just natural energies, but also the dense, heavy distortions caused by human pain and imbalance. Now, with the pressure of the wave pressing in, it's purging those distortions. Energies that no longer match the new design are being pushed out with force. As this clearing process intensifies, we'll see its effects everywhere, from sudden geological activity to intense emotional surges in our daily lives. It's a deep cleanse that reaches every layer of existence, and it cannot be stopped. At the same time, Earth's magnetic field is shifting in ways that scientists are beginning to notice but don't fully understand. It's weakening, becoming more unstable, less predictable. But this isn't a malfunction. It's part of the process. The loosening of the magnetic field is helping to dismantle the illusion of the third-dimensional world. It's through these very disruptions that a higher awareness can take root. As the magnetic grip on consciousness fades, what once felt solid and unchangeable will begin to feel almost transparent, like a curtain you can see through with enough clarity. Intentions, intuition, inner knowing. These will become stronger. The barriers we thought were permanent will turn out to be more like suggestions than laws. And deep inside the human body, a similar unraveling is taking place. Hidden within our DNA are lost fragments of the soul, locked away by lifetimes of trauma, disconnection, and spiritual forgetting. Now, under the force of these incoming frequencies, those fragments are being pulled back into wholeness, not gently but with power. There's no asking, no waiting. The soul is reclaiming itself. And when those lost pieces return, they bring with them a flood of ancient knowledge, emotion, and purpose that we may not even recognize at first. This return can feel overwhelming. Emotional waves might come out of nowhere. Personality traits could shift dramatically. Sudden spiritual awakenings may catch people by surprise. It's like frozen parts of ourselves are suddenly thawing and sprinting home all at once. Even the way Earth spins is changing in subtle ways. The planet's axis is wobbling, barely noticeable on the surface, but creating enormous effects in the energetic field. This tiny shift is realigning the flow of time itself, rearranging the future and opening new doorways that were previously unreachable. Vibrational thresholds, the invisible lines that separate one level of consciousness from another, are moving closer to us. They're no longer distant goals. They're here, pressing in, waiting for us to step across. For those who are ready, it will be easier to shift into higher states of awareness, to feel the truth that's always been just out of reach. All of this, the solar codes, the shifting grids, the wobbling axis, the magnetic anomalies. It's all one movement, one great wave of change. It isn't simply arriving, it's already here, and it's not just touching the surface. It's reconstructing the world from its deepest roots outward. As this divine wave digs deeper into human experience, the first place it lands is the mind. That's where the real battle begins. Before the world outside us changes, the storm rises within. People won't initially notice this wave through physical events, but through intense inner conflict. The mind, once a safe place for illusions to hide, will become a battleground where truth and deception collide in dramatic ways. Thoughts that once offered comfort will start to feel false and unbearably heavy. The masks we wear, the ones we created to be accepted, to feel safe, to avoid pain, will be ripped away. It'll feel raw and confusing, but it's necessary. There will be no more running from the self. The wave will demand choices, often without warning, forcing each person to decide whether to keep living a lie or to embrace authenticity, even when it's hard. One of the strangest and most powerful shifts will be the rise of telepathic empathy. Without trying, people will begin to feel what others are feeling, hear what's unspoken, sense the truth beneath the surface. It'll be like having a second conversation in every moment, one spoken with emotions instead of words. Smiles that hide sadness, words that disguise pain, they'll all become transparent. For those who aren't prepared, this emotional openness will feel overwhelming. Interactions will take on a new weight, sometimes beautiful, sometimes deeply uncomfortable. The old sense of privacy, at least emotionally, will fade. And it won't be because of technology. It'll be because the natural psychic connection between people is becoming clearer. Alongside this, a flood of ancient memory will begin to rise. But these won't be memories from your childhood or even this lifetime. They'll be echoes from far beyond, memories of other worlds, lost civilizations, and journeys through time and space. At first, they might make no sense. They may show up in dreams, in flashes of insight, or in sudden feelings of homesickness for places you've never visited. This will shake the foundation of many people's identities. They'll question everything, their stories, their past, the world they thought they understood. The ground beneath their sense of reality will split open, revealing something older, more truthful, and far more powerful. Even sleep will feel different. As the veil between waking life and the dream world thins, people will move between those states more fluidly. Dreams may feel just as real as waking life, and memories from those other realms might follow us into the day. Time will stretch and contract. Déjà vu will become more frequent. The ordinary will no longer feel so ordinary. Reality itself will begin to bend in ways that leave many questioning whether they're awake or still dreaming. The familiar line between sleeping and waking will blur, merging inner worlds with outer experiences in a continuous stream of awareness. This shift will challenge everything we once believed about time and space. One of the most disorienting changes will be the rapid unraveling of our old identity structures. The labels and roles people once relied on for meaning, careers, social status, national pride, religious affiliation, will start to feel paper-thin, fragile, like masks wilting in a rising flame. The things that once brought a sense of success or purpose will lose their flavor. Titles and achievements that once felt important will seem hollow when compared to the raw, undeniable truth awakening from deep within. This won't be a graceful transition. The foundations that used to shape our life choices will weaken quickly, leaving behind a strange, almost wild kind of freedom. It will be thrilling, but also frightening. People will come to see that the external roles they played were never their true identity. And in that recognition, something deep will stir, a yearning for what is real, for something lasting, for a truth that isn't written by culture or expectation but spoken quietly by the soul. As this deep inner transformation spreads through individual hearts and minds, it will begin echoing outwards, shaking the very systems that have governed life for generations. The structures that once defined order, governments, financial institutions, scientific authorities, and media, will begin to break apart with alarming speed. At first, this collapse will be carefully disguised, appearing not as failure but as calculated changes meant to preserve stability. Governments will respond to rising unrest with firmer control, declaring more emergencies and telling the public that it's all to maintain peace. But beneath that narrative, it will become clear that what's really happening is a last-ditch effort to hold on to a fading power. Leaders will use fear to keep people from seeing the truth. They'll manipulate, distract, and pressure individuals to stay loyal to the very systems that are crumbling. As the grip tightens, financial systems will start to fall. But instead of being recognized as the collapse that it is, this change will be repackaged as a step toward progress. We'll be told that this is a necessary transformation for a better world. The media will spin tales of hopeful new beginnings, while the truth, an urgent awakening in consciousness, will be buried beneath layers of false hope and carefully shaped messages. What's really unfolding will be hidden behind polished language and media campaigns designed to keep people calm, to keep them compliant. Science, once the guardian of truth, will be turned into a weapon against the awakening. Those who begin to see beyond the surface will face skepticism and resistance. Their insights, experiences, and new ways of knowing will be mocked or dismissed as pseudoscience. The gatekeepers of the old paradigm will insist that nothing is changing, that facts are fixed, and that anything outside the established narrative is simply madness. Those who start to awaken will be gaslit by those in power. A steady stream of curated facts will be used to reinforce the old worldview, while anything new, any experience that can't be measured or explained, will be labeled as invalid. The rising awareness will be met with a storm of confusion, a deliberate effort to discredit what people are feeling and seeing for themselves. The media will become a wall of noise, flooding the world with synthetic distractions designed to keep attention away from the awakening. The more people begin to question, the louder the noise will become. Sensational headlines, emotional dramas, meaningless entertainment. It will all serve one purpose: to numb collective awareness and pull people back into the grip of consumer culture. As clarity begins to rise, it will be drowned out by the deafening volume of false stimulation. Every breakthrough in consciousness will be met with a barrage of shallow content meant to keep minds dulled and distracted. And perhaps the most disturbing tactic will come from the medical world. The spiritual awakening that so many will go through will be redefined as mental illness. Deep, transformative experiences will be labeled as delusions, anxiety disorders, or paranoia. Those who tap into the depth of this shift will be told they're broken, that they need treatment. This will be framed as a way to protect them, to bring them back from what will be painted as a dangerous break from reality. But underneath that compassionate veneer will be a more sinister goal: to silence the awakened by making them doubt themselves. The medical systems, once symbols of healing, will be used to pathologize spiritual growth. Instead of supporting those undergoing profound change, they'll seek to suppress it, to contain it. And yet, in the midst of all this turbulence, a quiet but powerful support will be present. The divine wave sweeping through the planet is not an isolated force. It's backed by ancient cosmic allies, beings who have been watching over Earth from far beyond this dimension. These silent star families have walked with humanity in unseen ways for eons, not because they were forbidden to act, but because true evolution must come from within. They know that no matter how advanced or loving they are, they cannot interfere with humanity's own process of awakening. This journey must be walked by each individual soul. Though they can't intervene directly, their presence is anything but passive. They transmit frequencies that harmonize with the human heart, sending waves of support that can be felt by those attuned to them. These energies create small sanctuaries of peace amid the chaos, moments of clarity in the storm. Across the globe, long-forgotten energy centers, ancient temples and sacred sites will begin to stir. These places, rich with spiritual memory, will awaken and pulse with energy. Their reactivation is part of a larger plan to assist those who are ready to align with the incoming frequencies. Some people will feel mysteriously drawn to these sites, unsure why, but unable to resist the pull. These sacred spaces will become havens for renewal and connection, places where the energy of the wave flows freely and can be absorbed into the human system. Within them, the veil will be thinner, the guidance clearer, and the ancient wisdom more accessible. These sites will act as stabilizers, grounding the wave and helping those who are ready to rise with it. Simultaneously, certain awakened individuals will begin to channel direct knowledge from cosmic libraries, vast interdimensional repositories of truth. These libraries exist outside of time, filled with the wisdom of countless civilizations and cosmic systems. Those whose vibrations are high enough will begin receiving downloads, insights, dreams, sudden revelations that seem to come from nowhere but carry deep, universal truths. This isn't abstract knowledge. It's information that illuminates the path forward with astonishing precision, helping humanity understand why the wave is here and what it truly means. Earth itself will begin to respond. The ley lines, energy veins that run beneath the surface of the planet will activate. These ancient networks, long dormant, will align with the divine wave and create a grid of stability, forming an energetic shield to protect the planet from the forces trying to suppress this shift. Those who consciously connect with the earth through meditation, ritual, or even simple intention will strengthen this grid. The more people attune to it, the stronger it becomes. It's a collective act of anchoring light. But this support isn't for everyone. It isn't about exclusion. It's about resonance. Those stuck in fear, denial, or low-frequency thought won't be able to perceive the help that's available. It's not hidden to be cruel. It's simply that the energy can't be felt unless one is open. The guidance, the temples, the cosmic downloads, they're all present, waiting for those whose hearts and minds are ready to receive them. And when the wave grips you, you'll know. The signs won't be subtle. They won't be the gentle emotional shifts of past energy movements. This is something cosmic, something otherworldly. You might start to see beyond what's physically there. Auras, fields of energy, glimpses into the emotional truth of others. These things will become visible in ways you can't explain. You may begin to hear sounds that have no origin, tones, frequencies, or even languages that seem ancient and otherworldly. They won't make logical sense, but they'll feel deeply familiar, like a memory resurfacing from lifetimes past. These vibrations will move through your body, aligning you with a deeper frequency, one that connects to the very structure of the universe. Rational thought may fail to explain it, but your soul will recognize it. You may find yourself watching physical reality flicker or distort. Objects might blur, dissolve, or shift form momentarily. What once felt solid will now seem fluid, flexible. You'll begin to understand that reality isn't fixed. It's a frequency, a dance of energy you're finally able to perceive. Sudden knowledge will come to you. Information will arrive without study, without effort. Insights about yourself, about the universe, about your purpose. These realizations will just appear, complete and undeniable. You won't be able to trace where they came from, because they've always been with you, waiting for the right moment to emerge. This is not a breakdown, it's a breakthrough. It's the beginning of seeing what's always been hidden in plain sight. The divine wave isn't just something happening to the world, it's something happening through you. And once it begins, there is no turning back. Only forward, into truth, into your true self. Something ancient and deeply wise is rising within you. Something you didn't learn in books or classrooms. Something that seems to echo from the very core of your soul, or perhaps from the cosmic libraries beyond time. This knowing is arriving now, not through study or effort, but as a direct transmission to your spirit. It won't always make logical sense, and your mind might even wrestle with it, trying to find a framework it recognizes. Still, you'll feel it deeply. It will move through you like a truth you've always known but couldn't quite explain, stirring something sacred and eternal within you. This unfolding might feel both exhilarating and overwhelming, as though your consciousness is tuning into a divine frequency beyond words or reason. At the same time, you may begin to experience subtle but powerful nudges, an invisible magnetic pull that draws you towards certain people, places, or events. It won't make sense in the way decisions usually do. You won't be able to explain why you feel so compelled, only that you're being drawn towards something significant. These inner pulls might lead you to cross paths with others who seem strangely familiar, or to places you've never visited yet feel like home. This magnetic attraction is not random. It's part of a larger orchestration, as though a divine current is steering you exactly where you need to be. It moves beyond logic, beyond what the mind can analyze, and into the realm of the soul. The more you learn to trust it, the more you'll realize it's guiding you to places of alignment, where your purpose can fully awaken and unfold. These encounters, these synchronicities, are part of a greater cosmic wave that is subtly but powerfully shifting everything. There's a hidden purpose behind this wave, a deeper intelligence that extends far beyond what the rational mind can comprehend. This isn't just a moment of spiritual growth or a metaphysical event. It is a cosmic intervention. It's a sacred response from the universe itself, emerging when the natural balance of truth has been violated too deeply for too long. But this isn't about punishment or destruction. It's not a force born of anger or vengeance. It's a response rooted in love, a divine correction aimed at restoring harmony and realigning the fabric of existence with universal truth. Humanity, in many ways, has lost its way. Layers of illusion, confusion, and distortion have buried the original essence of life. The truth has been manipulated, hidden beneath generations of fear, control, and forgetfulness. As this imbalance reached its peak, a cosmic reset was set into motion. The wave was activated to cleanse, to clear, and to bring everything back into resonance with the higher laws that govern the cosmos. Structures built on deception, whether mental, emotional, energetic, or physical, cannot survive in the light of this realignment. So the wave moves through, dismantling what no longer serves, dissolving everything that resists the higher frequencies now rising on Earth. To the human eye, this may appear as chaos, collapse, or even devastation. But from a broader perspective, it is grace. It is healing. It is the universe restoring the natural order. For us as a species, this is a moment of monumental transformation. The age of separation, the belief that we are each isolated, disconnected individuals, is coming to an end. What's emerging is something far more vast and unified. This isn't only a spiritual evolution, it's a shift in how we exist entirely. Humanity is being gently but firmly repositioned from a fragmented worldview into a higher understanding of collective consciousness. The wave is the catalyst. It is lifting us out of survival-based awareness and into the awareness of connection, purpose, and unity on a galactic scale. The Earth itself is not immune to this shift. The planet is undergoing its own recalibration, being prepared for a new role in the grand cosmic landscape. Earth is becoming something far more than it was. A beacon world, a light in the darkness, a radiant point of remembrance for civilizations scattered across the galaxies. It's no longer just a place for personal evolution or karmic lessons. It's being transformed into a space of universal wisdom, where souls from many realms will gather to reconnect with the eternal truths of love, unity, and divine harmony. As Earth's vibration rises, it will begin to radiate its light outward, touching lives far beyond this solar system. It will become a hub of higher consciousness, a center for galactic remembrance. Other beings, other civilizations will feel this light. They will come not out of conquest or curiosity, but to learn, to remember, and to grow in their own ways. Earth is being reimagined as a sacred space of healing and unity, one that will guide others as they too step into the frequency of cosmic truth. And when the wave has fully passed through, when its great cleansing and recalibrating energy has done its work, there will be a moment of stillness, a pause, a breath. In that sacred silence, every soul will face a question. It won't be spoken out loud, nor will it come from another person. It will rise from within, resonating with the deepest core of who you are. Did you choose truth or illusion? This won't be about doctrines or beliefs. It won't matter what philosophy you followed or which spiritual path you walked. What will matter is how your soul aligned with the purest frequency of existence, the frequency of love, of light, of oneness with all that is. Those who chose to awaken, to surrender the illusions of ego and separation, will feel at home in the new Earth. They will move forward in alignment with the greater plan. But those who resisted, who clung tightly to the fading illusions, will find themselves out of sync with the new frequency. It won't be a punishment. It will simply be the natural consequence of resonance. You can only exist in what you are in harmony with. The wave will gently guide every soul to the space they are truly aligned with, where they can continue their journey in whatever way suits their growth. This wave is not a myth or metaphor. It is the universe's answer to the growing imbalance. It is a sacred, intelligent force, a cosmic rebalancing that is helping all of life step into a new era of clarity, truth, and unity. In its wake, a new reality is emerging, one where love is the law, where truth is no longer hidden, where separation is an illusion we have finally moved beyond. This is not the end of the world. It is the beginning of a new one. A world where the sacred is remembered, where every soul is seen, and where the Earth, radiant in her transformation, shines as a beacon for all who seek the light.